Kilo Alpha 3, Sierra Victor Kilo. Hello, radio. This is Kilo Alpha 3, Sierra Victor Kilo. Hamlin, KA3BK. Kilo Alpha 3, Sierra Victor Kilo. Hello, radio. This is Kilo Alpha 3, Sierra Victor Kilo. KA3SVK. Kilo Alpha 3, Sierra Victor Kilo. Hello, radio. Kilo over 3, Sierra Victor Kilo.
Radio, N1DU. What's going on here? Well, it's probably better. N1DU. What the hell's going on? Hello Radio, N1DU. Okay, I'm here. We can start the show. Hey, Randy, N1DU.
Hang on, Mark. I'm trying to get my microphone situated and all that stuff. So, how are you tonight?
I'm okay. I'm a little disappointed, though. I was looking at that video again because after I went looking for that, where that valve was, it's not there in mine. That's a BX, and I guess it's totally different.
Yeah. I was looking at that today. I saw that it was a BX, and I thought the same thing. I wonder if it's in the same spot, but it's not. But I'm sure it's not that big of a deal to find. Let me just think about that. Well, I just have to look at my tractor and figure out where it is. I'm sure it's be easy to find.
Yeah, I would think ours are probably the same. But I did do a lot of looking around, and I couldn't find it. But I will tell you this: I got to get a bigger gauge or a larger or more PSI. I don't know how to say it, but mine's a 2000, and I did check that. And at the max RPMs, it was pushing over 2000.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be set for 2,400. If my memory serves, I think it's supposed to be set for 2,400 pounds on a B series tractor. The BX is like 1950, right?
Yeah. I gotta. So I've been looking on YouTube and everything to see if anyone's done it or anything. I haven't been able to find anything, but I got that manual, that huge manual. And I guess I got to start sifting through that. But the main thing is I wanted to get my, at least I got one tire filled. I did so many errands with my wife today. It was like, and then we built a table. She wanted she wanted to make a 26 by 48 table. We had ordered the iron legs, and I had to cut, it's all butcher block, and I had to cut the wood, and had to go to Warwick and pick it up at Lumber Liquidators. So it was just like a day with the wife, and at the end of the day, I was going to do that mod, and then when I ran into that, I was kind of disappointed. But I got one tire filled, and it's about 17 gallons it took.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's a little less than what we had planned on, right? Or what we had expected?
Yeah, a little less and a little more, because I know the BXs were 12, and I think you were saying yours was over 20. Tires are a little smaller than yours, but I think I got it pretty much to where it's got to be. You know, I kept filling it up, and then I let, it's funny because the air, even though you let the air out at the beginning, there's still air in there after you start putting the liquid in there, you know?
Okay, I'm sorry. My wife got my attention. I didn't quite get what you were saying. Now, give it to me one more time.
No, I was just talking about the filling the tire up with the liquid, how at the beginning I thought I drained all the air out, or most of it out, and then it just keeps coming. You know, the air keeps coming out of the thing. And then finally at the end, I think I pretty much got all the air out, and then liquid was coming out. So then when it started coming out really slow, that's when I stopped, and I finished putting the air in it.
Yeah, my thing, it just puts air in. Puts water, the liquid in, and the air is evacuated. Now, where did you set your valve stem location? Was it like at, let's see, this would be 1, 2, 3, this would be 3 would be here, like at 1 o'clock and 11 o'clock, or like at 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock?
No, 12 o'clock.
Oh, no, you can't do that. You can't fill them all the way. You can't do that. That's a big no-no, because liquids don't compress. And if you read up on filling your tires, you can only fill them about 80%.
Yeah, but the thing is, the valve stem is not all the way. It's not at the top. The valve stem is at the top of the rim, and then you still have all that area above the valve stem that's empty.
Yeah, I don't think you got enough area there. I would roll the tire like it says to do. I mean, if you look up how to do it, it'll tell you how much liquid your tires. If you look up your tire size, it'll tell you how much liquid you should be taking in order to have enough compression.
75%, I believe, and from everything I saw, it was 12 o'clock, but I could be wrong. I'll have to check again before I actually put any weight on there or anything, you know.
What size tires are they?
I don't remember exactly, and I don't think I have the manual here. They're smaller than yours, but I did look at the ballasting the tire section in there too, you know.
Right. Yeah, there's a section on doing that. And actually, if you look in your, I might look it up tonight. If you look at that manual, it'll tell you the location of the pump and the location of the pressure release, valve. So that shouldn't be too hard to find.
In the manual?
Yeah. Oh, sure. In your in the manuals that you sent, because I looked at the breakdown, through a bunch of those breakdowns for the engine and the hydraulic pump, and it's all there.
Oh, you're talking about the big manual, not the normal manual that the operator's manual.
Yeah, right. But I'm sure if I just look on the internet right now, I could find out where the heck where that pressure relief. Let me just look quick. I'll see if I can find it.
Well, you know how to. It's all about the wording. It's all about the wording on the internet, you know, and I could be wording it wrong.
November, Papa, Quebec.
Yeah, hi, Bill. I'm gonna. I didn't check my tune-up here, and it's been windy and stuff. Let me just check my SWR. I'm gonna look this up real quick. Be right back. KB2ZVP.
Okay, N1DU.
I got to tune up the amp here, guys. There we go. How's the audio sound this evening? I'm on the new Flex 6500.
Sounds really good. You just get your radio today?
Yep, just came in, delivered this morning and got it all switched over, and I think I might have a 7610 for sale.
Huh. Yeah, it almost sounds like AM, although the band sounds weird tonight for some reason. I don't know what it is, but but it sounds good here. By the way, I'm in Westport. Name here is Mark. I'm in Westport, Mass. I don't know if you know where that is, between New Bedford and Fall River.
Yeah, I'm probably transmitting a little wide here. I'm going to bring it down. So there we go. It's probably a little better. Anyways, has Ray been on this evening?
I have not heard heard
3
Ray yet.
or more.
Just Randy and myself.
N1 KAK.
Good evening.
N3 or more. Good evening. You guys are sounding really good up here to Bradford, New Hampshire.
Bradford, New Hampshire. I'm in Westport, Mass. 60 miles south of Boston. You sound good here.
Yeah, I'm 30 miles northwest of Concord, New Hampshire. About 90 miles out of Boston.
So
yeah, I'm over in West Rutland, Vermont, so you're not too far from me either.
Oh, West Rutland. No, I can get over there in just a little over an hour. Yep, good evening.
Where'd Randy go running off to?
I'm here.
So what do you think? Here it is. How's it sound?
I'm just listening for a little bit. I'm going to reserve judgment.
Okay. Well, it might need a little tweaking here and there. I just did a mic tune through the monitor and headphones, so it probably needs a little tweaking.
I almost think you sound better than I've ever heard you, but I'm not sure if I want to say that just yet.
I'll tell you what, this is, wow. It's, I'm a computer guy, so I, played with it all day and pretty much got a lot of it figured out, but I'm sure there's still a lot to learn. But I might have a 7610 to get rid of. I'm liking this.
Is that your first Flex?
Yeah, Roger. The receiver is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's nice how you can visually move the filters around.
Yeah, I was picking up stuff. I don't even think I switched between the 7610 and back and forth, and I was picking up stuff on the Flex that the 7610 I could barely even hear them.
I would keep it quiet for a while. Just keep talking, and let's just listen to it, and let's not talk about it, and we'll see if anybody figures it out.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, the person who said it wouldn't even sound that good. But anyways, yeah, I think for the price, I didn't, I did darn well on it. So I'm happy, and yeah, you've got you can do up to 20 dB gain on the preamp on it, so and that makes a huge difference. I was comparing back and forth between the 7610 and it was really bringing stuff up. The 7610 preamp is really not that impressive compared to this one.
I think your 7610 preamp was probably blown up. Most of them blow up. If you use that much, they blow up. So you might have been having trouble, because the 7610 preamp should bring up about 20 dB, right? Or 18, 20 dB. I'm trying to think. What is it? 20 or 18? I don't know. I forget.
Boy, I'll tell you, the other thing, too, is it really cleaned up my desk. It's such a low profile, and it definitely makes everything a lot neater looking on the desk here.
I think you're going to have to put a couple ferrite chokes on a few things, because it almost sounds like you've got a tiny bit of RF with you. It's not much, and nobody's going to notice it probably but me, or maybe some of the guys with a really good ear. But in between your words, I can hear a little bit of what I would call RF. But I mean, it's very, very insignificant, and I'm sure that a few chokes in the right spot will take care of that.
Yeah, I was having an issue with, I've got the Shure hooked into it, the balanced microphone. You know what? I should switch between the handheld mic and this one. I know on the handheld mic it doesn't seem like the RF is there.
Okay, sure.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, how you doing, Jack?
No, it's Mark.
I'm sorry. There's something in here with you, so it messed up your audio. But go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
No, it's all right. Somebody sounded like you're tuning up. 9.5-16 farm tractor. So it's 33 by 12.5. Rear tires.
3312.5, okay.
And I'm looking at the ballasting. It says 12 o'clock in the manual. It says do not fill tires with water or solution more than 75% of full capacity to the level of the valve stem at 12 o'clock.
Okay, so then that's a lot different than mine. My tires, my valve stem must be out at the outside edge more or something, because it was a lot different than mine.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, now you got me worried. I don't want to fill it up too much. You know what I'm going to do tomorrow morning, once it's been sitting all night and everything, I'll open up the valve again and see if any more liquid comes out.
Oh, I don't think you'll have a problem if that's what the book says to do. Do that. You know, you can't go higher than the valve stem probably anyway. So you're probably don't worry about it. I just considered it like what mine was. That's all. It's a little different than mine. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, and if you find where those shims would go, let me know. I did get yours. I went to the post office and mailed those out to you.
Well, I sure do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hey, no worries. But I'm just hoping I can use them.
Okay, Randy, this is the hand mic now. I'm not hearing any. It doesn't sound like there's. I could hear that very, very, very slight. What you were talking about, the little bit of RF sound and the on the shore.
Yeah, but this mic doesn't sound anywhere near as good.
Well, I am using the default profile on it, so that could be also, but I'm going to switch back over to the shore. There we go. Back over to the shore now.
It's light years better.
Yeah, it's definitely brighter.
Yeah, it's amazing how far you can, how wide you can transmit on this sucker too. It'll go 10 out on each side.
Yeah, Ray ought to love you.
Yeah, where is he this evening?
I haven't called him to get him in here yet.
He's probably waxing a steamer.
Is that what you're calling nowadays?
Yeah, make sure no one says anything to him, so see if he hears any difference.
Okay, I'll call him now.
Yeah, we need some adult supervision.
I was running the amp pretty hard, so I backed down on the amp. I wonder if that helped at all.
You sound good. Hang on. He's laying down. He's not feeling great, so he's not going to be on.
So, Randy, can you still hear a slight little bit of RF or not? I put 3 chokes on the balance line going into the flex, though. Hopefully, I can add a few more. Might need to add something going into the preamp for the microphone too.
I think it sounds better than it did. Yeah, I think it's better than it was for sure.
Yeah, I backed down a little too. I was running the amp a little hard, so yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the compression on this thing. It doesn't have a mid, low, or high. It just has a normal DX and a DX Plus on it.
What's it on now?
It's on normal.
I would never go higher than that. I don't think. I really think you got it set up just right.
Anybody taking a look at that radar?
I had 4 pan adapters open and 4 slices in each of them. Holy mackerel! That's enough to give you a headache quick.
Is that right? So how many slices do you have in that? You have 4 slices for so basically 4 receivers.
Yeah, 4. You can have 4 slices per pan adapter, and there's 4 pan adapters.
Oh, so 16 receivers?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that's enough?
It ought to get you what you want to hear, I would say.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to jump around between them, and I guess you have to choose. You just click on each one, and anyway, that's a lot more of a learning curve to figure out how to operate them all independently. I guess you can adjust them for left and right ear and stuff like that.
Well, I'm taking my time responding. I'm looking at something on the computer. I've actually got to do a little work tonight on the computer, so I'm going to be a little preoccupied. But Bill, you sound, without question, you sound better than you did on the other radio. You sound better than I've ever heard you.
Yeah, I was talking to another guy I talked to on a regular basis earlier today, and he concurred too. He's like, if I were you, I'd get rid of that 7610 and just go with this route. So, and I actually end up making money if I do that. Get a better radio and make money.
It's if you can sell it. I mean, is there much of a market for 7600s or 7610s rather, with what's happening with some of them?
They seem to be going quick on QRZ when they come up.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Of course, they're only going for about between 26 and 28, though.
Well, that's what do they cost to buy them right now? Oh, is that what you mean? You mean to buy them new? They're 26 to 28.
No, I think they're still 31, right around there. I think. Boy, it's quite good this evening.
Yeah, not a lot of response.
I'm listening for the sun noise that we had in here the other night.
It's calmed down considerably. Are you looking at that radar out in the Midwest there, Randy?
No.
You should take a look at that. That's impressive. All heading our way.
Yeah, we're supposed to have some storms Tomorrow, right? Yeah, here. I know here tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to get crushed. Okay, Randy, here's what I'd like you to do. If you have 30 seconds of your life you'll never get back.
What's that?
Take a look at the band scope right now and look across the band for issues with my transmit.
So you were, how far down were you bothering people before? About 100 down?
Oh, I think it was 1860 or something like that. I was 2 or 3 different locations throughout the band. The amp just woke back up here on its regular output power for a change, and I just want to see if there's something squirrely going on when this happens. It'll let me kind of know what to look for.
Just do this with about 2 seconds in between.
Okay, we're going to give you a couple whistles here.
My God, at 60 down and 60 up, you are almost as strong as your primary signal, and you've got the whole entire band floors going up when you transmit.
I concur. WG2E.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you are. Hi, Carl. How would you say it? Really wide.
Yeah. No,
I mean, you're
that's
almost down
very
to the broadcast band.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, you're showing up way past 2000 as well.
Okay, I opened it up 200 down, 200 up. Give it a couple whistles.
About half the power. Now it's doing full boogie, but when it seems it's doing full boogie, it seems to want to spread all over the place.
Yeah, you're making a real mess.
Give it 2 whistles, will you? Just with a couple seconds in between, so I can look at I open up the band to 400.
All right, I'm going to drop my drive power down to where I'm actually tripping my 2-meter side on the radio a little bit too when I transmit, so I know I'm making spurious like crazy. So let me drop my drive down to that level there, and we'll go ahead and give you a couple whistles.
It's not as bad as it was, but it's still kind of messy.
You're showing up at 1870 and 1990.
All right.
So I want to listen to you on 1870. Just make a regular old transmission.
Okay, I'm just going to make a regular old transmission here with my drive power set at, it looks to be like 45 watts in or whatever, which is about correct for a proper drive, and shouldn't be overdriving it. I'm not hearing the sporadic coming in on the 2-meter side anymore. So the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. This is just a test for a dirty amplifier that needs to be cleaned up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I unfortunately didn't get an opportunity to get to the amp yet today because I was at work all day. It is on my list of things to do. That should be enough. And 3 or more.
Well, at the lower level, you're better than you were. But you still got some problems, but you're way better than you were.
Yeah, you're still showing up a little at 1990.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell it was doing it really bad when I was driving it with a higher level because it was actually bringing up the 2-meter side on the radio. It would you could hear the spurs.
Well, it's unfortunate, but you're gonna have to set up for sure.
Yep. Gonna have to get her open, get her cleaned up, find out. Maybe I lost a part or something in there, something's arcing. Like Ray said, the relay's probably never been touched. The last time I was into it and looked and I replaced that fuse, it looked immaculate inside, looked gorgeous. But you never know.
It's only going to get worse if you keep doing it.
Transmit till she burns up. Maybe I'll get a new amp. What do you think?
What is that amp you got? Oh, it's a Dentron, 2500 MLA.
Yeah, get an ACOM.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Hey, Bill, what do you got there that's new?
I picked up a Flex 6500.
6500. Okay, sounds great. And I'm seeing it about 4K wide.
Oh yeah, I could go all the way to 10. Ray's got some competition now.
You can't go as wide as Mark.
Yeah, I got him beat.
Yeah, that's no fair.
It just wanted to almost go into oscillation.
Oh.
Hello. Hello. Goodbye. There's somebody else in there underneath. Hello? Hello? Yeah, am I underneath? You're very, very weak. Okay. I hear you okay. Who's that? You're above the floor noise, at least. Of course, the floor noise isn't that bad tonight. Is he still there? I don't know. I think he's just wanted a radio check. Yeah, I was on the beverage when I heard him.
Mark, what amp is that?
Who was that?
What amplifier is that?
Oh, it's a Dentron, MLA 2500B. It's an old Denny. Original tubes, I'm sure. Who was that was asking? The voice sounded familiar.
Was it Bruce?
Oh, you don't know me. The call here is N3ARW.
I know you.
Are you sure?
I've talked to you before on other frequencies.
Yeah, many times. Many times. Just in case you forgot, the name here is App Hotel Alpha Papa. I'm located down here in southeastern Pennsylvania, about 50 miles west of Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's right, Hap. Yep. Good evening, Hap. Good to hear you. It's been a little while.
Yeah, well, they were looking for you in 1900 quite a few times, but you never showed up to accommodate them.
Well, I hang with a lesser crowd now. Hap, you said it's November 3 Alpha Radio Whiskey?
Yes.
Okay, my name's Randy. Nice to meet you. I'm Kilo Bravo 2 Zulu Victor Papa. You're doing well here in central New York.
It's nice to know my antenna's working anyway. I'm only, 800 watts? Yeah, I'm only using a little Ameritron AL80A. That's what I have for an amplifier now. I had an 8877 that kind of gave up the ghost on me. Had a lot of problems with it, and it finally went on me completely. So I ended up with this one. And I'm running the ICOM 7300 right now with the SM8 ICOM microphone.
Yep, okay, well, you're doing a good job here. That amp, we can certainly hear that, and we can tell you're trying, and I don't mind hearing that, by the way, but you're doing good. You're about, I think in like 20 over something. I wasn't really watching the meter. I just looked you up on the QRZ, and I was just reading through your bio here. But, yeah, you're doing a fine job here into Toad Harbor.
Yeah, I've listened here quite a few times, Randy. I always do a lot of listening around, trying to collect information that might, help me further my experience with ham radio. And, well, like I say, I do a lot of listening, but I don't do much talking anymore.
Well, if you're trying to further your education in ham radio or enrich your experience with ham radio, this is by far the place to go, right? I mean, if you've got a good sense of humor, hang out here.
Oh, there's quite a few places I can go and listen to. There's a lot of nice, decent people up here on 160. I gotta say that because it's true. There's a lot of very, very nice operators here on 160.
And then there's Ray.
Well, they call it the gentleman's band for a reason, don't they?
Although I've heard a couple of times, I've heard a few problems go on, but nothing like the 80-meter band, that's for darn sure.
80 meters. Is that even a ham band?
I don't think you'll find anybody that will disagree with you, Hap.
Well, the guys down on 1900 are just going to have to understand, Hap, that I kind of sort of signed a contract with exclusive rights for here because it was part of getting the T-shirts. I'm not allowed to be anywhere else, so I'm kind of stuck here.
Oh, I understand that. I've heard all about the T-shirts and the antennas and stuff. That's why I'll just stick with what I got. Like Randy said, I'm doing a decent job going up there, so hey, I've got no complaints.
Are you doing okay, Hap, since the last time we talked?
Check.
Oh, well, I've been in and out of the hospital a few times. And, a few problems with my heart. And, of course, with the COPD, with the breathing. That's one of the reasons why I don't talk that much anymore. I'm too busy using this nebulizer to keep air in my lungs. And 3ARW.
Oh, gotcha. Yep. Well, if you're dealing with that condition, that's completely understandable. So, well, hopefully they got you on the mend, and you can get back to your normal self in a short period of time.
Well, the COPD will never go away. At least that's what I have been told. I'll have that the rest of my life. It all depends on how long I survive in this world. And I'm only 78 now. And at one time I was thinking I would be at least 130, but I don't know if I'm going to make it that far or not. I say that because I want this government to pay me back every penny that I have given them throughout the years.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know exactly how you feel in that situation.
Hey, Mark, are you hearing me?
Yes, I do. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering, for shits and grins, you got another transceiver that you can just switch that out and use the same amp?
Oh, yeah, I actually do have a 7000 I could go to.
Yeah, before I pulled that whole amp apart, if I were you, I would just go to it as a source and see if that TS2000 may be the problem solver.
Well, it's funny you should say that because sometimes on the 2000, it likes to wig out and get a little weird on the relay in the 2000. So you could be right with that.
Doesn't hurt to try it if you got one. How are you hearing me on my 703?
I hear you. You're not super strong, but I hear you.
Yep, 12 watts going out. Oh, the power she's got.
1,200 watts. I heard that.
12 watts. That's a QRP rig.
So that would be 12,000 milliwatts?
There you go. The old backpack of the 703 ICM. Great little radio for traveling.
Boy, that thing sounds good here. Give me a 20 over.
Are you on the battery pack with that?
I am using the 9-volt battery that came with the radio, the 3 C cells, and actually it was 6 C cells, and and I've just got it hooked up to my 160 dipole. The key is the aerial is 90 feet in the air, and it's 10 gauge stranded, and balls to the walls.
Randy, he deserves a T-shirt just for the effort.
I'm not sure how much effort I just heard about. What I missed it, I guess.
Go ahead, good. Tell him.
No, you can't hear me. No sense wasting radio time. You guys carry on. 73 N1QWN, Cape Cod, Mass.
Oh my God, he's in Cape Cod, Mass, and I'm getting him a 20 over for 12 watts.
And 5x8 in Ithaca, New York.
There's the Rainbow Bunker. Yeah, 12 watts with 20 over. What do you think of that app? That's crazy.
I'll come back on later with the 1000 NP and show you what 100 watts does.
Holy cow. Well, we'll be here, that's for sure. Evening, Chris.
Evening, Mark. Randy Happ and the gentleman from the Cape. Nice signals this evening. It's quiet here. Really nice. I hope I'm getting out, but I'm using a little more than 12 watts.
10 over S9 on the...
Yeah, you're about 35 over S9. Chris, doing a great job.
Okay, well, it's the full-size dipole, but not up as high as the Massachusetts one, or HEPS. Who is it? I was just reading. It had 90 feet at the apex. Nice. Everything's fine down here. Beautiful sunny day. I left last night just as you were starting to go over the point of how much money do you need to retire. And I signed here at the end of it, but I had to run. AM2 KM in the group.
So what's your synopsis of that there, Chris? How much do you think you need?
All of it.
Well, there's so many different lifestyles. If you've got your chateau paid for, you don't have a mortgage, that's a big chunk. And some people retire and don't have a house. They're renting, so it's the same amount, It's a tremendous draw on it. And then it depends on how you ended up with your Social Security. That's part of the equation, too. But lifestyle is an important part, If you stay close to home and don't do things extravagantly and don't have a high maintenance. Suppose you're the type that wants a new car every other year. All of that comes into the factor of it. But I think a frugal person, who had a decent job and racked up his Social Security or her Social Security, and you've got a couple there, you've got to have the couple. Well, that's one of the wildest parts. If you lose a spouse, just go down to the highest Social Security earner. That's a real blow, too.
Well, don't forget, if you lose a spouse, hopefully you're smart enough to have a big life insurance policy on each other. I mean, that's a big thing. I think that's an important part. Like with me, if I die, I've got insurance policies for Maureen. I've got insurance policies for each of the kids. So if I die, it's at least I got the kids are okay, and Maureen will be just fine. And we don't have any bills on anything. We don't have bills for vehicles, and we don't have a house payment. So that I'm trying to position myself so I can retire early. That's why all the ham, the ham station has been built up. The tractors and all the tools and all that are being bought or whatever. So when I go into the future, I'll have the stuff that I need, and I won't have to have a huge retirement, because when I went through that divorce, where an awful lot of money that I had is no longer mine. So that's I'm starting over, but I'm doing it as fast as I can.
Well, Roger, going for early retirement, now that's another, big variable. Well, I'll tell you a little story. My father was a friend of an old-timer with my grandfather's age. And we'd go over there, and my father would give him advice on investing and all that sort of thing. And one night we're driving home. Now, I was only a 12-year-old, and we're talking about the 1950s, right? And he said, "You'll never guess what Paul asked me." And it was about how much you needed for retirement. And my father said, I did the calculations, and what you have, if you just put it under your pillow, and you drew $20,000 a year, which was a good amount of cash in the 50s, right? You could live to be 110. And his response was, "And then what'll I do?"
Sure.
And that's the big thing that has all of these retirement homes in bad shape. The actuarial charts, everybody figured we'd all, check out early on. And people are living not only into their 80s, but into the 90s. These retirement homes were expecting to get their property back and sell them again. And so that's the big unknown. If you're good and healthy and don't have the medical expenses to worry about, and you live forever, you've got to have a bigger pile of cash. And I think one way to do it is not to take out of the funds more than the minimum required amount. This is for before tax investments in IRAs or what have you, And you can get by with your Social Security and that minimum required amount, then you're in fairly good shape, because I think the actuarial charts that the IRS is using really is very generous as you're living into late 90s. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on it.
Well, it's all true. But it comes back to what lifestyle do you want to live? Do you want to continue to live like you're still working? Do you want to live better than if you were still working? If you want to travel more now that you've got free time, that's the kind of thing. And if you want to stay close to home, do your own gardening, and be happy with what you got, well, you probably don't need all that much money, But if you're like most people and have your second and third mortgage and all kinds of bills, well, you got to keep working. Me, I could retire today without any sweat, and I would just not just sit back and do nothing. I would just go back. I'd go out to the shop and go to work and make money like that. My own business. You're not really retired at that point, though. You're working. So I plan on always doing something to make a couple extra bucks.
Well, that helps. And I have a couple of radio friends who take jobs, for example, with the state park system in the summer, just so they don't go stir crazy, and they like to be outdoors, And as they said, it brings in more than grocery money. And it's only a couple of days a week.
Well, now you got to be careful if you're going out to the park around Green Lakes out here. The Green Lakes Park, there was a Bigfoot sighting, so we got to be a little bit careful about working at nighttime, I think.
I didn't hear about the Bigfoot sighting.
Yeah, I understand that there's been 3 sightings out there. One is the one I just read about a little while ago. It was March 29th, January, February, March. Yeah, it was March 29th, and that was the latest one that I had heard. But there's been a bunch of sightings in New York, and a bunch of them in that area.
Well, it could be.
Yeah, who knows? Until they catch one, until I can walk up to one and shake its hand or scratch its head, I'm not going to. I mean, I'd love to see. I was talking to Maureen. It'd be so cool to see a Bigfoot out there running around. I mean, I would just love to see one.
3 VKR.
Hey, Dan.
Hello, Randy. Dan in Midland, Ontario here, in this gloomy, rotten, rainy day so far, and night. How about you?
It was a gloomy day today. This morning started out nice. It was gloomy now. A little bit of rain coming down here and there, some sprinkles. I'm starting to hear more static. My static is coming up, and I think that we've got some big storms coming for tomorrow. They're calling for quite a bit of electrical activity tomorrow, and I think tonight we're going to start hearing it shortly.
Yeah, we're the same way. We're supposed to really get it. I already got 20 millimeters of rain so far, so I think they're saying tomorrow is 50, so I'm glad I live up on a hill. We just finally got our icebreaker in here. They had one and it was too small. They come back with a bigger one, didn't make it. They came back with the big boy. He tried a couple times, couldn't, had to go somewhere else, got through into that harbor, and then came back today and finally got through with all the wind and breaking up the ice and freezing and breaking up. It was a 25-foot wall, so he finally got broken through it and come into port today to get the big grain ship out.
The big grain ship?
Yeah, we have grain ships that come in here. We have a big mill, and they turn it into flour.
I got it. We've been talking about flour and wheat, haven't we, Mark?
What's my signal, by the way, tonight? Just wondering. I don't get in here very often. I should tell you why.
Well, you can tell us why.
How's my signal first?
Well, let me take a gander at it again because it's up and down a little bit, and I want to just get a good read on it.
Okay, yeah, you're about 32 over. I'm running just over 1,000 here.
Yeah, you're 22 to 30 over. You're back and forth between 20 and 30 over. I didn't see you go over 30, and you're not been below 20.
There you go. That's good. I'm happy with that for sure. So, you know, I watch a lot of hockey. I'm a Toronto Maple Leaf guy, so, you know, that's sometimes twice, 3 times a week. Then we have a NASCAR, so we work on it. And then I have my snowmobiling, and I work on stuff, so a lot of times I get to listen just to relax, but tonight I don't have to do anything, so I thought I'd get on the Toad Harbor.
Well, we're happy that you did. KB2ZVP near the bottom.
And 5x9 in Ithaca, New York, from Cam to Pam. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening. You're 20 over into a little town in Midland, Ontario, 100 miles north of Toronto, V3 VKR.
Hey, solid copy. Very nice. Why am I asking you to so stingy tonight? Nobody's over 9.
You're well over 9 to me.
Yes, that's why I expect more, but I don't know.
You got something throttled back, preamp, your AGC, let's see, what was that? Attenuator. I know there's something you can turn on to knock your meter down.
Oh, the attenuator is not on.
So, Randy, I still have that topic about the bullets or, bullet shells, about the guy that makes them in town here.
Yeah, how'd you make out with that? Did you talk to him?
I did. I got a lot of the info. I have forgotten a bit, but I have the bullets in front of me. I'm going to send you the pictures, and I keep thinking, I think shoots, would it be... I'm not too sure if he shoots 600 feet or 1,000 feet. It's one of those. And, of course, they shoot in targets, and he qualified already for this year. He had to go to New York somewhere and qualify, and he made it into the finals. And he's a perfectionist with everything, and he got third, and he was kind of disappointed. And then he says, yeah, my shots were all within 4 thou. And, of course, his buddy won it, and he goes, they were within 2 thou. It's oh, my God, isn't that good enough? But not to those guys.
Yeah, you said 600 feet or 1,000 feet. I think you mean yards, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Yeah, I got to go and ask him again. I've forgotten, but, it's pretty far.
Yeah, it would be yards. That's common for like a match shoot, I think. I don't know that much about that stuff. You know, a couple of the guys that are in here are big shooters, long-range stuff, and they shoot in competition. But I don't know if Joe's in here. ICH, Joe, are you listening in here? I guess not. It's KA2ICH, and they build all their own guns, and they do match shooting, and I'm not sure how many yards those guys shoot, but I guess they're quite good at doing what they do.
Yeah, right. He builds all his guns, every little part, and he says he has quite a huge American clientele. And for a few years there, I don't know, almost 15 years, he did all the Olympics where, they'd be on their skis, skiing and then laying down and shooting, and then other target stuff. I think he had the whole contract for that. He was going nuts trying to keep up. And like he says, they're only good for basically you get to 60 shots. He says the barrels start to get worn out and, things start to vary. It's like, wow, you got to be kidding.
I wish Bob was in here. He talks about the Abrams M1 tank, and he'd worked on those, and he had part of the design he worked on himself, and he talks about the ballistics of that round. That is incredible. 15,000 yards the thing shoots, and it can hit a small target at that range, shot after shot. It's just incredible. So why not? If you can make that big, 14-pound or whatever that bullet is, travel that far and be that accurate, well, I guess you got to make a rifle do the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to say he makes all his own bullets. He buys the casings, and they're from Russia. And I'm looking at one here. So he builds them, and he says the hollow point is the most accurate. So I would have thought maybe a pointy tip one, but he says no. And everything is weighed right down to unbelievable. So anyways, he does make good money at it.
Yeah, I know in like pellets, there's three type of pellets typically. They got the hollow point, they got the pointed ones, and they got the flat nose. And the flat nose tend to have a tendency to be the most accurate. And I would imagine the bullets are probably similar to that. I don't know what he does for bullets or anything, but I know at least in pellets, where I can't talk about more powerful bullets, but I know the pellets are the flat nose are the best.
Yeah, okay. I have one of the bullets here that they use in at the Olympics for those skeet shooters or whatever they are, and it's kind of a rounded nose. It's not flat, but it's fairly rounded, and you look at it again, you think, well, it's kind of flat, but anyways, they're a tiny little thing.
I think they use 22s, right, for that?
I'm not a gun guy at all, but sounds good.
I shoot our 22 a lot here. I have a lot of fun with that. I like to blink and shoot the targets and like that. So I do a lot of shooting. And the 22s that I have are these really quiet ones, so it doesn't bother the neighbors. Once in a while, I'll take out one of the bigger guns, the 12 gauge or the 35 or something. But that's just like a cannon going off in a neighborhood. They don't mind too much once in a while. But the 22 is, they don't even hear that.
Yeah, around duck season, mostly around here, I hear the guys shooting, and what's kind of neat is you hear the echo behind a bit, eh?
Well, we have ponds all over the place. I mean, it's the first day of duck season. As soon as the sun comes up, it sounds like the 4th of July, all around you. And then we have the season, and we have state woods right across the street and behind us. So we hear those guys blasting away out there. right too. Yeah, you know what? You're right. We'll be hearing we've got a track right in our backyard, so we'll start hearing those guys on Fridays and Saturdays. They do a lot of racing over here. There's a lot of people in here. I don't want to hog it up, so somebody else jump in. I'm not sure if Mark is still in there, or Mark or Bill from Vermont. I think they wanted to say something with the new radio, and get everybody's opinion of that. And Chris is there. I'm not sure who else is listening, but anybody else wants to say, feel free. KBD2ZDP.
Randy, everybody's reading the report.
Oh, the 400-page the report. Yeah, I'm sure you have a take on that.
Well, I've only started to read it, really, and I'm in the executive summary to volume 1 only. It's fascinating stuff, what I see on the table of contents. For anybody who reads it on the media campaign and all that sort of things the Russians were involved with, it's fascinating that there's that much science in, well, I guess that should be a surprise because we got the advertising industry right. Anyway, it's really, really very interesting. But I can't comment because I haven't read that much.
Yeah, well, you and I have a different opinion when it comes to this, and I'll tell you, I think it's ridiculous what's been going on in our and look at our government is just effed up major, and when one president can say something and the Democrats love it, and another president says the exact same things, and the Democrats hate it because he's a Republican. Everything's so biased. I get sick of hearing all of it. It really is just so biased. And I'll be honest, this Ithaca, this sanctuary city business. I mean, Chris, if anybody believes, any of the politicians actually believe in sanctuary cities, and then they're offered to get people to come to those cities, and then they all go bananas and talk about breaking laws and lawsuits and all this and all that. I mean, that's shameful. It's people. I hope that people wake up and pay attention to what their leaders are saying and what their leaders really mean.
Well, this is the important part. This division in what the Russians supposedly, the Internet Research Agency or whatever it was called, really studied this split in society and worked on that. Really, we're trying to tweak it. Now, my personal opinion is that I don't think it really influenced the election. I don't think the results were different because of Russian meddling, as we'll call it, because it was a small part of the propaganda or whatever from both parties and interested parties. But the interesting thing is to read it from a media manipulation perspective of what they tried to do and all the research they did way before to try to do it. Fascinating stuff.
What do you think about what he did, or what they're trying to get him trying to get him on? They're absolutely trying to make up anything, trying to get him on anything. Okay, versus let's just say what Hillary Clinton did with the email server. How wrong? How guilty? Okay, no, not how wrong. Everybody knows she was completely wrong. How guilty is Hillary Clinton, do you think?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to that part yet. No, that's not in here. And I haven't gotten to the obstruction of justice part. That's the second part. I'm just the very beginning of the media campaign stuff. Hillary and her server nonsense. Now, that was just stupidity. And she wasn't the first and won't be the last that did it. What really went wrong? I haven't gotten to that part yet, but what went wrong is how vulnerable the email system was to hackers. They could have hacked Trump's side, too. I mean, it just points out how badly organized email traffic is within these parties. Not good. And maybe that's...
Well, it's against the law for one thing, and she says she didn't have any. She's a bold-faced liar, Chris. I mean, the woman is an absolute bold-faced liar, criminal, and she should be charged. She tells the Congress that she didn't have any top security, anything like that on her email server. Was talking to her husband and all that, and there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands top secret stuff on her server. And then when they find out about it, what does she do? She tries to destroy her phones and her email, and the DNC gets hacked. And what's the DNC? They won't let the FBI look at their server. They send it to a independent company to get it taken. Look, Chris, you are one incredibly smart man, and I know that you're as bright as anybody I know, and I also know that if I'm smart enough to figure out, and I believe to my soul that Hillary Clinton is one of the most evil people on the planet, probably ever walked it, and that woman is as bad as it comes as far as her husband, the tarmac little visit. I mean, come on, they're not. There's nobody. There's not a single person on this planet that would say that they believe that those people are telling the truth. Now, there's an awful lot of people that will say it, but in their heart of hearts, there's no way that anybody with an IQ over 12 can think that those people aren't guilty of something. I mean, and they are without question. And yeah, they're going after Trump, like he's some kind of a terrible villain, and they're trying to draw conclusions over, and Mueller says he can't say for sure. He can't draw like what you're doing right now. You can't draw a real conclusion. Well, they're saying, well, the evidence points to he must have done something wrong. I mean, in Hillary Clinton's case, they got all the evidence that they need to put her away, but yet they won't. It's so two-sided. I mean, and if you're a Democrat, you have to hate Trump. Why? Because he's making the rest of the Democrats really look stupid. I mean, the guy just plays these guys like he's a fiddle. Yeah, he doesn't say all the right words. He's not a polished politician, but I'll tell you what. I don't think there's anybody that thinks that he's not doing a great job for this country. As far as the illegal alien thing, why do all the sanctuary city people, leaders of those cities, why do they not want the people that they've been saying welcome to the city?
Well, I think Hillary passed why she wasn't that important. Just pure political benefit. And now the opposite can't put their things into the existing president. Just wow, that's bad. Back here, corruption. The little bit I did read showed that they didn't use the term. Well, Russians, each one gets something to help the other. That's in the second one. The difference between collusion, coordination, and conspiracy. And that's the section where, and this is the executive summary, where he says basically it's up to Congress to decide whether there should be an impeachment or not, because they're high crimes and misdemeanors, but Congress has to decide that. And Mueller's view was that a sitting president cannot be charged criminally. by the department that he heads, the Department of Justice. And it's President, it's up to Congress to look at the information and decide what they want to do. Very nuanced thing there, and cutting hairs. It's a very dense paragraph where he's splitting the hairs between these things, but then collusion, conspiracy, and so forth. And then he basically says it's up to Congress to look at what's in here and make up their mind whether there's grounds for impeachment. So it's well, that's why I believe Mueller came to that conclusion. And for the lawyers in the crowd, I'm not one, but it's so-called the unitary power of the presidency, or the unitary presidency, where being the head of Justice Department, he cannot be charged by that department. Only the information can be used by Congress. As I said, I'm not very far into this thing. It's dense, Randy. Cam to Cam.
Well, I can tell you something. Hillary is not passed. That's not gone away, and that's not going to go away. I feel that they're going to. They've beat on this thing bad enough where. I mean, I just think that Trump is just in I just think that, I think justice is going to be served, and I think there's going to be an awful lot of people going to jail, and I can't wait for that to happen. The Democrats have already started pointing fingers at each other. I didn't know this, I didn't know that. He did this, they did that. So, and the Russians wanted to get something from whoever won the presidency. I mean, what about Obama sitting next to Putin saying, well, listen, on my next term, I'll be here to do those things. I mean, this kind of stuff happens all the time. And when Mueller took over this investigation, Democrats were saying, now we'll get someplace because this guy is a great guy, and he can't be tainted, and he can't be this, he can't be. And then when he didn't agree with, when he came back as no collusion, all of a sudden now the Democrats turn on to him. He's no good. He's a Trump puppet, right? So they don't get their way. This is I liken this to the spoiled little brat at the grocery store in the candy aisle that didn't get any candy, throwing himself on the ground, kicking his feet. Okay, that's what the Democrats are doing right now. This is their last gasp, and this too will pass. And then when it does, things are going to get very interesting, I think. I think that things will get very, very interesting, in fact. So that's enough of that. I don't want to go into that because they're probably boring an awful lot of good people to death. KB2ZVP. We'll see what happens. Hopefully the truth comes out. Whatever. I have strong beliefs. I don't have any proof. I have strong beliefs, and I think I am in business. I see how business is. I see how many people are working. I see how much my taxes went down. I see how much how much more money we can put in our equipment because of our taxes have gone down. And I know it's so hard to get good help because everybody's working. And I know for a fact that that's good for the country. KB2ZV. Somebody else say something, come up with something to talk about.
We can switch from politics to something more interesting. The Fox interview with Burr last week. That was a good one.
Yeah, and now Democrats hate him for getting on Fox. I mean, why? Why? I mean, okay, Chris, answer this. Do you see how blatant the Democrats are? I mean, do you see how transparently biased they are?
Well, some of them don't want to get Fox. I watch it. There's a great transparency going on there. And see the reaction of the crowd. The fact great question. And Bernie was up there with his bat. bringing some runs in as well as a couple of homers. And it was interesting because we don't have TV, so I streamed it. See the reaction of the faces of the people, and also what's that guy's name, Brian, whatever. At one point, it looked at that right. I went, hey, I thought it was be a guy. So what are we going to do? Anyway, that's when the most interesting word to take on it. Green is so many versions of the green. Just see, I'm pretty cool now. I was just tongue in cheek, trying to avoid politics. I'll think nickel line, double bazooka fed by open feeder line.
Well, before Bernie, I think, decent enough man. I don't think he's a prayer in hell to get elected president of this country. I have very high doubts that he may ever become president. I think it's interesting that the Washington Post wrote a lot, had a big column how Fox News is by far the most honest news group, and it has went through a bunch of the stuff that CNN has proven themselves wrong, MSNBC has proven themselves wrong. You know, they have deliberately tried to hurt the president. No president should put up with that. No one should have to do that, no matter if you like him or not. You know, it doesn't. I mean, it shouldn't be like that. I mean, whatever. Democrats are very weak people. Okay, you're a party of very weak people. You, Chris. Okay, you're not like that. But I mean, you look at the Democrat. You look at these kids. Okay, these college. You know, I got college-age kids that Meg from Portland, Cornell. She had to get out of there because she couldn't take it anymore. You know, with the work, Colorado, work. But that drives her crazy too to see some of the stuff. People just don't have a good take of reality, and look, it's the kids' world. They can use whatever bathroom they want. I don't know. I'm disgusted with the whole thing. But I stopped watching a whole lot of this stuff. I stream everything. We stream everything here too. I don't watch any cable TV.
Well, I think we should expect college kids to be in their own world because they're just coming out of a very sheltered background and existence and getting their feel for different ideas that they never heard at home. Out exactly what they know. We expect. Somewhat interesting. The closing of the American by a prophet here in 80, I guess. Oh, before that. 1980. Oh. He's 60. Oh, he left in 70. He went to Toronto, and then he went back to the University of Chicago. He came from originally. But the closing of the American Mind. I haven't read it yet. I just read the review. This was published in 1980, by the way. Anyway, he was making the same sort of case. That these kids, from these new, we're talking about new middle class, well-to-do kids, well-to-do by comparison before the war, right? We're talking about the baby boomers. They came to college not with an open mind, he said, like they used to. Or I guess he could pour in his ideology. They came with all sorts of prejudices and weren't listening. They were questioning too much. Some arguments years ago. Anyway, I'm reading a book. My goodness. I'm just reading.
he wasn't happy with the kids of the 80s. He would be flipping out right now if he was alive. I'm not sure if he's still kicking or not, but I mean, look at it. If he could take the 80s, the kids from the 80s, what's he thinking about these? Just refrain from calling them any bad names. Anyway, that's how that goes. And it's too bad that there's so many kids being brought up by moms and not dads, and not moms and dads, and you know, on and on and on. We can talk about that forever, but we're not going to do a thing about it tonight. I was going to ask you something. There was actually something that I wanted to ask you. You didn't mention anything about the sanctuary cities. What do you think about? What's your take on all that?
Well, my feeling is the following. That had it been presented correctly, not politically correctly, but in a real social organizational way, I bet churches and these, civic organizations that took in all the refugees from Vietnam, the Hmong and so forth, and also refugees from El Salvador back in the 70s, they would welcome all those people and help link them up with communities and families that would support them. And there are many rural communities in this country that didn't because they didn't have it now. So I'm sure that if they did it that way, they would assist the people and move them on. The idea of way of doing it, if you really want to do it, is you could organize, and those mayors and so forth, or counties, whichever level it was, would definitely organize and receive these people. A lot of charity in this country, so that's where I think to use it as here's some state we can follow.
I totally disagree. It was presented to them as being presented to the southern border. They just come in, and we don't want to stop them. We want to let them. So it's presented to the southern border. That's the way it would be presented to those mayors. They don't have a choice as to how many. They don't have a choice as to who comes in. No, these are people that are here. You say they're welcome to your city. Here they are. You figure it out. We're going to bring these people to these areas that say that they want them, that they're welcome there. Okay, the areas that don't say that they're welcome, they shouldn't have to have them. These people are illegal. They're breaking the law. There's an awful lot of bad people that come in. I mean, an awful lot of bad people. And I'm not prejudiced even a tiniest bit. I've employed many people that have come over the border, and an awful lot of them. When I was in Kingston, their Social Security cards were still dripping wet, and I knew that. But these are people that were working hard, and I don't have a problem with that. But there's got to be laws. There's got to be a way to bring these people through. There's got to be a border wall. Because they're not respecting our laws. They flood in, okay? They just flood in, and they expect to be taken care of. A lot of them don't have jobs. Our country can't support all those people. There's a lot of charity here. We're not taking care of our war veterans, and we're got to take care of all these kids. No. If you're going to sit there and shoot your mouth off and say you're a sanctuary city, I'm going to say, welcome, here they are. And you fix it, okay? And then exactly what happened, they all proved that they were nothing but a bunch of bold-faced liars, and they weren't in any way at all interested in helping those people, not even a little bit. That was never a sanctuary city. That was just a talking point to make themselves look better than Trump and better than the people that wanted to stop them at the border. Chris, those people don't have any more right to come across that border than they do to come and break into your home tonight and push you out of your bed and stay in your bed. There's no way that we can continue to do this the the way we're doing it. It's got to be stopped, and it's got to be fixed. And at least there's one. Listen, there's no way that anybody can look at what these mayors are saying. This is now they've been talking about sanctuary cities. We're not going to prosecute. We're going to let these people know that we have an ICE event coming. We got I'm so worked up right now. What's her name? Forewarns these people that the ICE police are coming to have this raid, and that's just okay. Fine, you want it? Here they are. They're in your city now. You handle it. I wouldn't have stopped. I wouldn't even have told them. I would have just dropped them off and said, okay, deal with it. That's exactly what I would have done. What about this Dallas mayor now? This Dallas mayor, he decides he's not going to. No, the DA, the Dallas DA now has said that he's not going to prosecute people for being poor. Meaning, if you go to a store and you steal condoms, you steal birth control, if you steal food, if you steal milk, if you steal food, you don't get prosecuted unless you take more than $700 worth of goods. I mean, this whole Chris, it's got to be stopped. And we're not going to survive as a country. If somebody doesn't do something and stand up for what's right, what's common sense. This is a very generous country. It always has been a very generous country. There's a lot of good people do in this country, but you just can't let it be overrun by people from other countries that don't have any respect for our laws, and then they don't want to learn our language. They don't want to learn our ways. No, I'm sorry. I will fight that one forever.
Well, bravo, Randy. Bravo.
Well, Randy, come back to the federal government's responsibility process the sort out legitimate that will cycle up coming on the Look, Randy, the group in this country, the first generation of the language, they die, but their children and their grandchildren that aren't grandchildren. And expect your generation to change. Number there is density of people in this country. Companies are searching for a worker. We do need more people. And because of the aging population, the only way we're going to get younger people is through immigration. And I believe immigration should be organized. But right now, the whole thing is stifled, and it's shoulders of both political parties in Congress not having done immigration reform since Uncle Ronnie gave the first pardon. And the people who were pardoned in that era now have children, they have grandchildren in this country. And neither party has tackled immigration legislation since then. And that pardon was done with the idea that, all right, we'll solve the problem right now, and then that is of the illegals, and we will then have a system. Well, neither party could agree on a system. So here we are, where we were before. End point.
Yeah, well, okay, let's go to your first point. The federal government's responsibility is to its people, Chris, okay? Survive It's the survival of its people. That's its number one responsibility. We got to protect our people, not process people that are breaking into our country illegally. Okay, that's their responsibility is to stop those people that are breaking into our country illegally, and let them in one at a time and talk to them and find out which ones are the good ones and which ones are the bad ones. But when you're trying to come across the border thousands at a time, our federal government, its first responsibility is to protect our country and its people, okay? And then secondarily, take care of its people, the people that are starving here. Let's take care of those before we worry about the people that are too cowardly to stand up and fight for their country, okay? These people are leaving their country because their country sucks. Well, you know what? Do something about your country. Your country does suck, so fight for it. Fix it, like we had to do, our ancestors had to do. Now, I'm not trying to say don't try to help these people. I certainly want to help these people, but I want to help the good ones, and I want to flush or kill the bad ones. I'm sorry to say, but there's an awful lot of bad ones. Don't forget something, Chris. I ran a concrete block company in Kingston, New York, where we had a lot of Mexican people, Guatemalan people. We employed a lot of them. We had a lot of good ones, and we had some bad ones. There's a whole bunch of them that went to prison. I worked very closely with the New York State investigator down there, Stan O'Dell, and he told me which guys to look for, which guys to look out for. Okay, that was the MS-13 guys, which are loaded in that area, and over in Connecticut and over in Rhode Island. It's huge MS-13. Okay, those people all came across the border illegally, all of them. Okay, there's murderers, there's rapists, there's thugs. They came across the goddamn border illegally. They shouldn't have gotten here. Okay, our government screwed up by letting them in. We should have protected this. We have a lot of American people dying because we didn't protect them. Okay, the government didn't protect them. That's the government's first responsibility. It's not to process these people. No, it's to stop them. Okay, stop them, protect our country, then process the good ones. Okay, the language. When the Germans, my ancestors came here, that was it. They became part of the American fabric. They tried to learn. They had a hard time handling the language, absolutely positively. I guarantee you, I agree with you 100%, but they tried to learn the language. They muddled through it. They talked in broken language, in broken English. They did all those things, okay? You ask USA John, his parents came here from Russia, okay? When they came here, they forbid him to use any language but American, but English. Okay, so those people had backbone, they had spirit, they had the ability and integrity, and they went out and worked, and they got spit on and they got beat on, but yet they worked for less money than everybody else got, and they didn't expect to get more because they knew they were immigrants, but they worked and they kept fighting until they were able to do well. Okay, and they taught their kids the right way. You're saying the first generation? Are you kidding me? We're a generation, what, 4, 5? And these kids are, I mean, we have grandparents and grandparents dying, and their great-grandchildren are still here getting welfare and refusing to learn the language, or at least use the language. They don't know the language, but they forget about it. Those arguments you've given are bogus and bad, and I'll not ever change my mind on that. The government's first responsibility is to its people, and that's that. And that's all there is to say about that. To protect the people and protect the people's land and protect the people's. And we do need people. Okay, we do need employees. Trust me when I tell you, I'm in the business. I'm in the business that I travel from Florida to Maine, working at concrete block plants and working at ready-mix plants and asphalt plants. And I can tell you, we are severely shorted by young people that want jobs. It's not, we don't need Spanish people. We need the lazy bastards that are up there playing Xbox right now. Okay, and we need those guys to put down their games and get a job. Okay, you can't have. There are no men training these kids. I mean, you ask the kids nowadays, we'll get 30 doing something. They're going to forget about that. They're going to go home and live with mom in the basement. We have a huge problem here. And that problem is not from the Republican side, I can tell you that. It's from the liberal side that teach their sons which bathrooms to use. Now we're going to get off into a really bad area. I'm not going to do that tonight, so I'm just going to check out because this is bullshit. Okay, people saying that we've got to process these people. No, we don't. No, we don't have to process them. They don't have the right to be here. Okay, we do not have to process them. We have the right to allow them in, okay? And if we don't want to let them in, they ain't got to come in, okay? They should stay where they are and fight for their country, and little by little, maybe they can make their country better. I'm sure that we would be very happy to help them make their country better if they asked for it instead of attacking our southern border. Chris, I totally disagree with that, and I think you can tell that I'm passionate about what I say, and you're not going to change my mind with any words you use because I have good common sense. I've been in the field for a long time, working at kind of concrete block plants and ready-mix plants and steel fabrication places. And it's very vast and very vast experiences. And don't forget, Chris, a concrete block plant in Kingston, New York, won the greenest product in America. Okay, the greenest product in America. Okay, and we did that, and it had nothing to do with the Green New Deal. Okay, there's a responsible way to talk about being green, and that airhead has no clue what it takes to be green or anything else. I'm surprised she can. The only thing that she is good at is making money. Okay, she went from being a really poor girl to being a very well overpaid person in government, and I think it's interesting that we continue to pay our politicians way more than they deserve, and I just wish there was a way to stop it all. But we're just going to get into an argument, and I like you way too much to argue with you, so. KB2's MVP. How's Stella? I love Stella.
He's in great shape, thank you, Randy.
Como just gives himself $70,000 raise, KA2EXP.
Oh, he has to have a raise, Steve. Come on, think about it. You know how high the taxes are here?
Crazy.
We pay our folks well. Well, let's come back with a very interesting point, and it's that these people are illegal. Now, we happen to be signatories to international law that refugees, political asylum seekers, have a right to show up at the door, knock on it, and say, this is my case, let me in, and we have to process it. That's simple. And the idea that, no, they should stay back there and change their own government. Well, Randy, my folks, too, came from Germany, and they came in the mid-1800s, when there was a battle against royalty, become a republic. And I'm not sure which side they were on because things moved back and forth so quickly. But instead of staying back there and fighting in all those wars that they had in Germany, they came over here instead of making their own country better. And we can see that with Italians that came over. We can see that with the Pilgrims that came over. They could have stayed there and fought the Church of England. But no, they didn't. They chickened out, and they came over for a new start. That was before the asylum laws and so forth. I think if you look at American immigrant waves, they were all folks who were leaving despotic regimes, royal regimes or military regimes, because they didn't want to stay behind and fight for the change. We've got to face up to that. They were losers in revolutions, and they came here. And so we have to recognize that. That's our history. That's what made this whole melting pot that didn't melt to 100%, fortunately, because it gave us all this different variety, which is the creativity that this country's known for. So yeah, the government has to process these people, keep them out, let them in, and if they come in, they decide that, they should receive asylum, like the ones that came from Vietnam, and also the ones that came out of Nicaragua. When there was a place in Nicaragua, we were siding with the loser in that particular case. That's why you don't see them on the list today, because there's special law, the Nicaraguans. They came in under that. So that's the government's responsibility, yes, to process the people that shape up. And they're knocking at the door. They're not sneaking across the border. Those who sneak across the border, that's a whole other... But anyway, let's not forget where our ancestors came from and why they came. And say to a Guatemalan family, hey, you should stay there and fight that regime. When, hey, wake up. It's the U.S. foreign military aid that makes the regime there as strong as it is and as repressive as it is. This is a problem. I've lived in all those countries. This is an issue. Just, a little more background on it. Anyway, let's get on to the double bazooka and open line feed. AM2KM.
Just keep in mind that those people left those countries because the government was slaughtering people, okay? There was wars, and they were being slaughtered by their own government, so they were smart to leave. I don't think the Mexican government has opened up a Tommy gun and started killing their own people. It's corruption, it's gangs, it's the mafia type, gangs over there that are bothering those people, that are killing those people. But the fact of the matter is, Chris, you said it right. They have the right to knock on the door and be processed. These people aren't knocking on anything. Okay, they're invading our country by the thousands, and they're not knocking. Okay, they're climbing fences, they're digging holes, and that's what they're doing, okay? There's a lot of people that get into this country every single year that do knock on the door and do get processed and do get treated very nicely. And I can tell you that right now, those people, a lot of them which I know, are furious at the people that break over the border, okay? That either climb the fences, dig the holes, or whatever. So those people, those same Guatemalan people, those same Mexican people, those same South American people hate the people that are doing what they're doing because they did it the right way. So that's enough of that. The double bazooka. Now that's a fine antenna. And of course, no antenna is as good as it is unless it's being fed with world famous open wire feed line. I'm sorry, world famous Toad Harbor. I even screwed up my own line. No antenna is as good as it could be unless it's being fed with world famous Toad Harbor feed line.
Feel better?
I'm getting there.
Okay, that's good. But what I would like to know on the double bazooka, because we just helped restring one and redo it this weekend for 160 for this band. And what I'd like to know is, for the height, the same height as a loop, what will be the difference in the performance?
Oh, I think the double bazooka would give a loop a good run for its money. I think a loop is a really good antenna, and the reason it's a good antenna because it works on all the different bands. But I think a dipole done right actually is Doc in here? Doc's running a double bazooka with 100 watts, and he's stronger than most everybody with an amplifier. Doc, EES, are you in here?
It was Banana Republics was the word you was looking for.
Thanks, Steve. We've shifted. We're into bazookas now. But maybe he's not here. But some of the guys run double bazookas. A lot of the guys run just dipoles, and as long as they're fed with open wire feed line, they're going to work well. My loop works pretty good. It's only 30 feet in the air. It always does okay. I think it's more the way that you build it than what the antenna is. I think as long as it's halfway reasonably the right length and it's fed with the right feed line and the connections are made, you're going to have a good signal. KB2ZVP on the 24.
And 1 MPQ.
Listen to that guy. Let's hear some good audio from Vermont. So you're liking that rig, huh?
You weren't getting anybody over 9.
Nancy, I think he's up there.
Well, I'll tell you, it's about 84 degrees here in the shack. I got the big amp just roaring, so I can imagine. Yeah, I guess you got to open a window. They're thinking all of that. She's way smarter than I am. She won't get involved. Well, she has strong opinions too, but she listens more than I do, and she's always talking about listening to the other side, listen to the other. Because I immediately go to the wall like a Democrat would if a Republican was speaking. So I do the same. I'm the same thing. But yeah, I did hear Tom in there. Hello, Tom. I'm not sure. I thought I heard another voice. I wasn't sure who it was. But good evening, everybody.
And 1 MP. So I'm still loving this thing. I'm talking about FlexWave.
Did they mention your RF?
Is it back?
You have a little bit. I think you got too much mic gain. Just don't do anything. Just key your microphone and look at your watt meter.
Whoa. Yeah, I don't know how my mic gain was up. Not sure how I get up there.
Just do this. Key your mic, okay? Well, a good way to tell if you've got RF is just key your mic and look at your watt meter and see if it stays down. And just give a little, and then see if it climbs and stays up. If it stays up, that's RF. That's some RF getting into the signal.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
Oh, Randy, I wanted to say, the Doc's, the double bazooka that we took down this weekend, or we didn't take it down, it was down on the ground, and we put it up. We had Saturday was an antenna party day, and went from one end of the county to the other. 2 different antenna farms were pruned, if you will, over.
Well, you did a great job with Doc, and he was very, very appreciative. I can tell you that. He's a great guy. He's been getting in every night, and what a nice man he is.
Roger. And I'm not sure how high it was because we had to lower a 40-meter dipole and then hitch this onto the same rope, I'd say 15 feet above that. But I'm not sure how tall his tower was. We almost all dropped in our tracks when he said, oh, well, you just have to climb up there and put another rope because the pulley broke. And we all said yes.
Why, you didn't want to climb the tower?
Oh, well, it's not a very broad tower either. But it's quite tall. It's got 2 sets of guy wires on it. It's got to be 70, 80 feet tall. And we started the day with an antenna party of 4 people, and before we even got to that place, there were 8 of us. So many people that the postal lady stopped by and said, hey, is there anything wrong here?
Oh, that's good. That's the nice part about being a ham. You know, you can help each other, and people do help each other. I like that. It makes me feel good.
Yeah, it was super. Let's see, we're guys and gals on the hams, as we drove around, and we had a great time talking about all sorts of things, all sorts of instruments. And, let's see, the first place we stopped, it only took a few minutes to take down a pole and put a new pulley on and raise it up. And his wife had some delicious coffee ready, and it took us more time to drink the coffee and talk it over than it took us to fix it over.
Well, that's typically the way it works with hams, right? You got a lot to talk about, but that's cool. But I'm really happy. Actually, about I'd like to talk to you more on the telephone about a couple of things. So, if you could, I don't know if tomorrow will be a guide. What are you doing right now? Can you use? Are you able to use your telephone?
I am, yes.
I have your number, I'm sure. I want to give you a phone call.
Fine. I'll stand by, and with that, I guess we'll say, I'll say, well, I can come back again. But good evening to everybody from KM2KM. And there's the phone. I'll pick it up.
Okay, KB2ZVP. Be back in a little bit. Tom, you're in charge.
And 1 MPQ.
KA2EXP.
Where's Ray tonight?
I don't think he was feeling good. Everyone disappeared.
Well, I'm still here. I can't think of much to say. Randy said it all, and he's right.
I pretty much agree with him also. This is Steve in Albany, KA2EXP.
Yeah, this is Tom, KC3KXB, just South Erie, Pennsylvania.
And 1 MPQ, West Rutland, Vermont.
KD2 IMX.
KA3SVK, Damascus, Maryland.
KD2 IMX.
Hi, Chris.
How you doing, Tom?
Doing good.
Doing good in the hood, huh?
Yeah, like they say, it's all good in the Toad Harbor hood.
Yeah, I've been listening for a while. Haven't had much to say. I was in here around, I don't know, 8, I don't know, something like 8:30. And things started to get riled.
What did I miss?
Listen. How's everything doing there, Tom?
Had my teeth cleaned today, and by doing that, I had to take that amoxicillin. Not 1 or 2, but I had to take 8 of them. And I feel like I'm dying. I'll be this way till tomorrow. That keeps the bacteria from my mouth going to my knees.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, new knees.
Maybe, if you know that happens, Lodge, you could take the amoxicillin prior to going.
Yeah, that's what I did. And like I say, it's been several hours now, and man, talk about upset stomach from all that antibiotic.
So what happens is it kills your digestive juices over.
Yeah, we keep amoxicillin around too for those emergency things.
Yeah, I had to take 8 of them at one shot.
That's quite a lot. You know, anything more than 1,000 milligrams. That's a lot.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want my new knees getting infected either.
Well, I hope that your knees are okay and your stomach goes back to normal, because I know that it can really put your stomach out of whack.
Yeah, it has. I'm going to be on the side here. KC3KXB.
All right, Tom. KA3SVK.
KD2 IMX.
KA2 station, how you doing? KA3SVK, Damascus, Maryland.
Roger. You got a copy on me?
What's your call again?
I got my antenna back up.
Yeah, what's your call again?
Kilo Delta 2 India November X-ray.
Hey, how you doing? Chris on the sound.
Yeah, Roger. I'm out in West Hampton.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
His name is Bob.
How you doing, Bob? And where you at?
I'm in West Hampton. Copy.
25 minutes. We're all
National Camp Radio Day. I wish I would have known that this morning. Chris, how are you? I'm doing doing okay. That doesn't sound too good.
Well, it's really not, to be honest with you, but my hands got stuff done. It's not producing what I really wanted. It'll take a lot longer, and I won't do it until 4 6 months.
Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that.
Wait, I can't do anything. Operation down with my hands. I'm just playing away the game, hoping that everything will turn out. I will have to into other things that could be.
Well, you had the tunnel, right? Surgery.
Well, surgery for the first time. Scar tissue, and then they put it in tubes, protect the tube, stuff goes to the center of the palm area from the base of the wrist, and they covered up with a wrap so that it doesn't get squished. And it's just a very, very time consuming, and I'm hoping for something faster that it won't happen, and I just have to be careful not to exert my wrists and stuff like that. There's no pain or anything. It's just I'm expecting something to happen like a miracle, and it's happening that way, and that's just the way it is.
Keep it elevated.
Oh, yeah, keep it elevated, keep it straight. Some people say wear a splint. on the wrists, and I can't live with a splint on my wrist. I can't get anything done with a splint on my wrist.
Yeah, in about 12 days, you're going to take out the stitches.
All stitches are out. It was done over a month ago, about a month and a half.
Yeah, okay. Hey, I got to get out of here. I was just listening to you guys. Cape Cod, Massachusetts. We're way out here in the boondocks. We're copying everybody. 5 Square. We got a room full of all you guys. Catch you later. K1 Victor Ocean Yankee.
K1 Victor Ocean Yankee. Well, I got a full room of you here, and you sound great. K3SPK.
Yeah, what, you got any numbers for me?
Come on back, and I'll give you an actual reading. I had to turn my preamp off.
Hey, you guys are all 10 over here. Plus. Yeah, okay. K1 Victor Ocean Yankee.
I have you 10 over, KA3SPK.
Hey, John, you're 25 over in Toad Harbor. You got to fill in some out there. I just gave you a wonderful signal report like that, and you got to call me. You got to give me that. Come on.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, you guys are bombing in here. Gee whiz. Seems like you guys moved your antenna up sky high there or something.
No, this is Randy. I've turned my antenna your way. I've got a beam. I'm beaming my signal toward you.
Hey, Randy, all I want is your mobile rig.
Well, you can have it. I'm so sick of that thing. It's a pain in the neck. It's a lot of fun in the summertime, but in the wintertime, it's a real there.
Yeah, I want to get something on what's it, what's hanging out here.
I enjoy it a great deal. I like the band, and I sure do like working mobile. But it's a lot of work, I'll tell you. And now now that it's springtime, now I've got to get underneath the truck for another 20 or 30 hours and take off all the old straps and put on all the new ones, you know?
Yeah, I'm looking at the food and sugar and the guys from behind you guys all that. I just want to hold it. I want to find it in on the bit. Catch this guys later. The guy with the longest center there. 290 feet or 70 feet. It's super terrific. K1P05. Very cold here.
Good night, John. Best 73. Well.
That's it, Randy. Yeah, you took it over here.
Thanks for those reports. You know out there, dude. You've got the best signal reports. Give the best signal reports. Okay, well, it's good to hear you. How's your wife feeling? Well, I'm happy that you're in here. I'm happy you're still doing it. Very grateful to talk to you, Dick, as always. And how's the electric X-ray team tonight down there?
Oh, doing good. 800 power. We're not the back is under the but if it's warm enough, we'll be
Good to hear it. So you're 30 over here. You're doing a good job. Hey, did you, who came in? Jake came in and said that Tony passed away. WB2BEJ, is it W2BEJ? Yeah, I guess he used WB2. But it's W2BEJ. He passed, right?
Up and go, I know for about just off the solar, the Boston solar, that's an actually fun. You remember he was out late 70s, early 80s, I think. We were talking, and yeah, this was WB2, but I do and a W2.
Yeah, I remember when he upgraded. He used to do a lot with what's the charity that he used to do? I donated some radios to him. I had some really nice equipment, and boy. What was it, the Red Cross? Yeah, the Red Cross. And I found out that you could donate equipment to the Red Cross and help me in my taxes and things like this. So I remember when he went from WB2BEJ, and I saw him at the last year's Boston Spa, not the solar building, but the big one. I saw him there, and he had a bunch of people he was talking to, and I was going to walk over and say hi to him, and then I walked away, and I was talking to some other people, and I turned around, he was gone. I didn't want to interrupt when he was talking to a whole bunch of people, and the funny thing is, probably those people that he was talking with I probably knew as well, but I missed my opportunity to say hi to him, and I wish I hadn't. I wish I would have said something to him. What did he die from? Was there a problem, or he just got old and died?
I heard something like a brain hemorrhage or something. I was talking with let me see, Peter Harvey. I'm trying to remember his call now, but I think he said that he had heard he died from some type of brain aneurysm or something like that, and it was quick. So in his sleep, I guess. So he didn't suffer at all. And yeah, he was an icon. One thing I will remember him for is he used to publish what was called the world-famous Tony's Hamfest list, and he used to have the listing of all the Hamfests pretty much in the whole area, and when they were happening, he'd compile all that information, put it online. I used to print it out every year. KA2EXP.
Yeah, that's right. Tony's world-famous Hamfest list. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Oh, boy. He was an icon. He is one of those guys that the funny thing, I've never talked to him on HF. I've never spoke to him on HF, only on that crazy 06 repeater when I used to live in that area. So I haven't talked to him in years. And I don't even know if I have. I doubt. I'd have to find my Rolodex from back in the day. I bet you I had his phone number. I still talk to Craig once in a while. I know N2UID. I know he changed his call sign to something else. But I call him about once a year on the telephone just to find out what's happening. Who's still kicking and all that. I think he and Karen are still together. I didn't know, but. Well, geez, I've never mind. I'm not going to get into it. I can't come up with I'm shot. It's getting late for me, so my brain's about used up. Some of the guys, I knew Howard Lester passed, and I know you and I talked about Sal, the guy that was on 6 meters all the time, the old guy, Earl, was it Earl? Anyway, there's a bunch of people has passed. I mean, I know I hear Jay K2Q&U on 80 meters every now and again. He's on a net that's very close to a net that the Syracuse guys have. And I don't an awful lot of those guys I don't ever hear on HF. I don't hear them on the HF bands. I guess they just pretty much stay on 2 meters. KB2 ZVP on 50.
Okay, very good. Yeah, a lot of those people gone. I remember them all. Used to remember Marshall, WA2, MID, Marshall in Demand. He was around back there in the 70s. He was the Heath Kit man in the area. Had you needed anything to do with the Heath Kit, which is very popular? I had the SB102 and the SB200. He had must have had 25, 30 of them in his basement of all types of Heath Kit equipment. Marshall, what's his last name? I'm trying to remember. I have Marshall, but I remember it's called WA2 MID. I went and seeing all the equipment he had. And George Bush, N2JJE, ran the 6-meter net. 6-meter net. Every he got guys, they didn't pass away, they swept it out to a higher frequency, but just don't have on
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And Dan Well was a great guy, sure. Yeah. I didn't know Marshall, the fellow you're talking about. I didn't know him. But of course, I knew George Bush very well. I put up his tower and his antennas and stuff over there at the place across the street. I did work for him on his old place, but then when he put the new place up and we put up antennas and stuff like that, I knew George pretty well. As a matter of fact, he had a bunch of equipment that he was trying to give me. Somebody had passed away, and he had a whole bunch of equipment that he was trying to sell for the widow, and he kept trying to get me to take it. It was old. I didn't want it, and I said, no, I'll try to sell it, even if you don't take it. So I don't know what he did with all that stuff, but and then I got a ham radio. I got a ham radio. As a matter of fact, I was helping him with his antenna and towers. After I was out of ham radio, he was still call, and I'd run right down to help him because I had a lot of respect for him. I used to like to listen to him, and he was a really nice guy. A guy who just got old, and a lot of people kind of discounted him because he was getting old and like that. But I couldn't do that. I thought he was a pretty nice guy, and I wanted to help him whatever I could.
He was taking the meters. But he was interaction with him. And did you remember Stan WA2BAH over?
Oh my God, yes, yeah, of course I do. Yeah, he was a contester. He couldn't contest at certain times though because of his faith. But yeah, he was a great guy. Rover, he liked the Rover.
Well, the 6-meter antenna I bought off Stan, must be 20 years ago, when he moved out of his Five Corners location, and he told me that 6-meter antenna I got right up there now, at 60 feet, an Easy Way tower, the A6 Cushcraft 6-element 20-foot boom. He said he worked 150 countries with it, and it is pretty good.
Okay, to join next.
Yeah, Bob, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm signing off. Good evening, gentlemen, and have a good night.
Happy you got your antenna back up, Bob. 73, sleep well.
Roger. Catch you later. Katie Joy next out.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. 1 second. You know Tim, right? Of course, you remember Tim, W3 Hotel November.
Oh, yeah. He's something happened to him?
No, not that I know of. I was out to his place. We were out to his place. We put up a hex beam for him, and one of these days we're going to get together. He was out this way for a wedding, and then we didn't get a chance to see each other. But whenever I think of Stan, I think of Tim, because they're always mobiling and are always contesting, right? W3 Hotel November. I love Tim. He's a great guy. I've got to give him a call and see what he's up to. I think he was going to go to. No, he had cancer. He was fighting, battling cancer, but I think he was doing okay with that. I think he stopped going to China to teach. He was teaching English in China, and I think he stopped doing that. So I got to give him a call to find out what's up. Now that the weather's getting nicer, we'll have to take a ride over to his place and check him out. But he gets in here once in a while. He doesn't come in a lot, but he does come in every now and again. And who was in there saying good evening? Who was that?
November 3, Mike Golf Echo. Good evening. Name is Tom.
You said Mike Golf Echo?
Yeah, Norway 3, Mexico, Germany, England. November 3, Mike Golf Echo. Do you copy?
Yeah, I got you. You're not real strong, but you're certainly readable. You're above the noise most of the time. My name is Randy. Randy is my name, and I'm Kilo Bravo 2, Zulu Victor Papa, and I'm located north of Syracuse, New York, in a place called Toad Harbor.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, I'm down here in Maryland. Yeah, I'm probably not getting out there very well. There's a lot of static practice, but I just wanted to check out and see if anybody can hear me. I'm down here in Maryland, and near between Baltimore and Annapolis, USA.
Yeah, we've got another guy out there. Chris, are you there?
I just came in.
The other Chris, the Chris in Maryland.
KA3SDK. Yes, I can hear him.
Hello, SDK.
How you doing? I'm located here in Damascus, Maryland. I got about an S9 on you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I got some steak out here, so I was just trying this antenna out just to make sure it was working, my Yaesu FD57. So I was just trying it. It's an open-fed wire, it's about 500 feet. So I just wanted to drive out there, QSL.
QSL. And what's your call again?
November 3, Mike Golf Echo. Go ahead.
All right, November 3, Mike Golf Echo. Yeah, I was going to look you up on QRZ to see exactly where you were.
I'm not at that location. I'm in another location. It says I'm in Crownsville, but that isn't where I am. I'm in Glen Burnie, if you know where Glen Burnie is.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly where you're at.
Yeah, right down the street from the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Yeah, I've worked at the airport quite a few times over there, BWI, when I was an electrician. Tough place to work at.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to work at the rental car facility. Okay, I just wanted to check in here to say hello to everybody, and I'll let you all get back. I just wanted to check in and make sure my antenna's still working. And it's probably better in the wintertime, quieter, but it's a lot of static. But thanks for coming back to me, and Randy, and the other guy. I'm sorry. But I'll stand by and listen. Thanks again. November 3, Mike Golf Echo. Thanks for letting me check in.
All right, 73, KA3SDK.
By the way, Tom, just to let you know, your signal is pretty good. I'm looking at you next to Chris, and you guys are pretty close together. Chris is quite a bit stronger than you, but he should be. He's running a lot more power. But you're not doing too bad. You're neck and neck with him sometimes. If you were running the same, 800 watts or so that Chris is running, you would have a signal pretty comparable to his. So your antenna's doing great. For this band in overtime, you definitely need a lot of power, because the band, believe it or not, you're hearing static tonight, and you're saying it's a lot of static. It's a quiet night here. Come summertime, we'll have 10 to 20 over static, pretty steadily. You got to have a big amp to be heard on this in the summer. Nice to meet you, Tom, and stop by anytime. Okay, 73. Good to meet you, Tom. And Chris, in Ithaca, we're still paid with rainbows. You've got a really great signal tonight.
There were 40 overnight, which really picked up quite a bit. Chris down there currently was about 20 over, and the hill of time was about back. We just want to pick up the weekend and see you, and I'll take you off tomorrow, so.
Thank you for that. I appreciate you doing that. And I'm going to get out of here, guys. It's 10 o'clock, and it's time for me to get some beauty rest. If you know, I need all I can get. 73, we will see you fine gentlemen tomorrow, Friday night. We should have a raucous night tomorrow night, being that it's Friday before Easter and all that stuff. And we'll see you all. Chris, I enjoyed talking with you. I enjoyed sparring with you. We're different in a lot of regards, but I think we're probably a lot alike in a lot of other regards. Best 73 to you, and have a great trip. Are you taking Stella with you?
Oh, yes, Rod. Randy, have a great evening. Easter also, and
I look forward to hearing about your trip to 73. Catch you all later, guys. Good night, everyone. KB2 ZVP.
Good. John Brewski, L.J. Wise just passed away a few months from the Milwaukee Mystics.
And Randy K8B. Okay, back to Steve just for a bit. I did. I heard that. Steve told me who was great friends with John. John and I were friends, and I didn't know what was going on, what happened between he and Wendy and all that. I was really sorry to hear that. I lost touch with John. He took over that F&M Communications and tower installers, and from the guy that I used to work for, doing a lot of tower work and climbing towers and stuff, and he took that all over. And I had seen him a few times since then, but as life goes, you get busy, and he was busy, I was busy. Then I heard that there was some really bad things happened between he and Wendy, so I was sad to hear that. But anyway, I did hear that he passed. That was really, it was just too bad. He was a good guy. I called him a couple times on the phone after I was out of ham radio just to touch base with him. And I think it was Dennis. Dennis Hudson was the one that called me and told me that John had passed. No, he was not. He was not much. I don't think he must have been. 50s, but he wasn't. I don't think he was to 60 yet.
Right, that's exactly what I thought. So I'll let you go, but just I didn't want to forget him because he was around a long time, did a lot.
Yeah, he was definitely good for ham radio. Yeah, he and Dennis were doing all that. Finding that tracking, they were doing all that tracking stuff, and he would come to my house when I was building antennas and stuff, and he would come around. We'd talk for a while, but yeah, it's too bad. But listen, we're all going to face it, and hopefully, you know what? I know when you finally kick the bucket, there's going to be a lot of people saying a lot of nice things, and hopefully when I kick the bucket, there'll be one or two people saying something nice, maybe more. But you know what? We're only here for a short time, and we just got to make the most of it while we're here.
Yeah, that's right. We're spiritual beings passing through a mortal world. So good to hear you in there. And I didn't know if you knew Henry Mitchell. He passed a long time ago. He was a good friend, lived over near me in Guilderland. I can't even remember poor Henry's call now, but he was a help in ham radio too. We had a field day over to his gravel pit one time. I can remember. 7-3.
Well, yeah, I know Henry. I knew him well because Ernest Fike, who was my partner in the racing engine business, this guy, Ernie, was the F. Fike and Mitchell. It was F and MK. Fike was my buddy, and that was Junior Johnson's nephew, Ernest Fike, and he and I were building engines and stuff, and he and Henry Mitchell got into a big row about the business, and as things go, that ended. But yeah, I knew who Henry was. Never had a crossword with the man. He was a lot more like me than Ernie was, I can tell you that.
That was unfortunate what happened to his son, how he was in that accident and broke his back and now paralyzed. We went and visited him in the hospital. He's paralyzed from the waist down, can't walk, but that was unfortunate because he was about my son's age, a friend of my son, who's now my son is, 41 or whatever, but this is a while back, so didn't mean to keep you, but, it sounds like you and me both know a lot of the same things. That's right. Cobwebs, you got to learn about this, know what's going on. But yeah, that's right. You told me over here and
Yeah, Larners, that's right. You're 100% right. So, small world, isn't it? And we're still keeping track. And think of this, Steve. We know all these people. We've run around the same groups a lot. Oh, well, hold on a second. Were you around when I put the antenna on the Connected Museum, the big beam?
Did you remember a big beam up there?
Yeah, I put that on. What was the other? He and his wife were on all the time, and for the life of it, they can't remember his name.
Yeah, don't.
Oh, you would know if I said to you that Jim. I'm trying to think. I guess he and his wife broke up, but they were there. I wasn't sure if maybe you were, because there was a lot of people there when I was putting up the big antenna, and I remember putting that thing up, and we had that was a bugger, heavy, really hard to hold that thing out. We were getting it up, but I forget even what band it was for. Probably 20 meters. It wasn't a 40-meter antenna, I don't think, but it was a big beam. I remember that huge boom. But I wasn't sure if you were part of that antenna crew or not. I got called in. I got called in to put the antenna. I didn't know an awful lot of people that were there.
I was me and Raphael at the top of the one of the towers at the Albany State. They had a ham radio club at the Albany State campus there, and they got those 4 towers, and I can't even remember the name of the tower. We were on top of that, and boy, what a view! And we installed an A3 up there for the ham radio station. I guess it didn't last more than a year or so, because they did away with the station, but I can remember being up the top of that tower and being able to see the lay of the land. It was pretty neat.
You know Judd, right? K2CBA.
It's familiar.
Oh, he is world famous. He's up there in the mountains up in, where the heck is he from? He's up in, I've been up on his tower. Hair-raising experience one time. I thought for sure you would know Judd. He's a VHF, UHF guy, really high, SHF guy, dishes and all that stuff. But he was kind of a lot of guys knew who Judd was. Okay, or knew who he is. He's still around, and thank God he is. Okay, I'm going to pull the plug. I was going to say, all these years I've talked to you many times, so you don't remember talking to me. I was just a pimply-faced kid when I first started talking to you, probably, but I will say that I've talked to you many times, and we've never met face-to-face, I don't think. We haven't know we're talking to each other anyway, not face-to-face. But one of these days, what you should do is get together with Carl and June 15th and take a short ride for you guys right down to the picnic and down and have a picnic with us in Kingston.
Very well do that. By the way, can you invite me to go to Fest, I think, and You're more on the ride. Exciting stuff. You know, I got everything. The only thing I can get is bigger. Pretty much got everything I need. But put that on the
Yeah, that's a short ride. There down from Schenectady to Kingston is less than an hour. So you won't. That's not a bad ride. And you'll have a nice day. We have a pavilion. If it rains, hopefully it doesn't. But we'll be able to sit and talk and see everybody that you hear talking and hear flapping their gums all night long every night. So yeah, that would be great. June 15th. Please put that on your calendar. It would be nice to know that you're going to come to that. Okay, we'll see you later, Steve. Best 7-3 all around. Again, good night, everybody. KB2ZBP.
7-3's KA2 EXP Albany.
7-3, Randy, K1 Adam Henry. Have a very good night. A better day tomorrow.
Anybody left out there want a signal report? I scared everybody away, must have. On your left, this is Steve in Albany, KA2EXP. Okay, I guess we'll QSY to a different frequency. We'll say 7-3s. It's been fun. God willing, we'll see you tomorrow night.
frequency in use, KA9AMO. Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use? KA9AMO. Kilowatt Alpha 9 Alpha Mike Oscar, KA9AMO, calling CQ160 and listening. Kilowatt Alpha 9 Alpha Mike Oscar, KA9AMO, calling CQ160 and listening. CQ, calling CQ160, calling CQ160, CQ, calling CQ160, calling CQ160, calling CQ, this KA9AMO, Kilowatt Alpha 9 Alpha Mike Oscar, KA9AMO, calling CQ160 and listening.
Wow.